Eden is not just a garden. It is a divine kingdom, a realm beyond comprehension, where sacred and eternal beings walked in the presence of the Almighty. Among them, the serpent was the most cunning, weaving secrets between the trees, while cherubim, radiant and majestic, guarded the holy places, standing vigilant over the fiery stones and sacred thrones. Where is Eden? Do not search for it on any earthly map. It exists above the clouds, beyond ordinary geography, in a dimension where time flows differently, where the very laws of space bend to divine will, and where mortal eyes see only fragments, fleeting glimpses of its glory. At the heart of Eden flowed 4 rivers, their waters shimmering with light and essence from the divine realm itself. One of these rivers, known to humanity as the Euphrates, carried waters imbued with celestial power, once binding mighty beings in its depths. These beings were not of flesh alone, but spirits of great intellect and authority, imprisoned until the appointed time when their release would stir the world. Eden was not only a place of peace and lush beauty, it was a testing ground, a sacred arena where creation, intelligence, and the heavens intersected, where light and shadow danced in eternal balance, and where wisdom and ambition were weighed against divine law. In Eden walked beings called Hayat, the living. Some had wings that glowed with celestial fire, eyes covering their bodies reflecting infinite knowledge, and others stood as guardians over God's thrones, silent and unwavering. These were not animals to be named, but entities of thought and purpose, aware and knowing, whose presence radiated power and holiness. Among them walked Lucifer, the anointed cherub, radiant in perfection, wisdom, and beauty. His throne shone among the stars, yet ambition stirred within him, lifting his desire higher than the celestial spheres. His fall began here in the garden of divine trial, long before humanity's transgression, in the very spaces where sacred stones blazed with eternal fire and the light of God touched every corner of reality. Adam and Eve dwelled in the garden, yet they saw only a fragment of Eden's true majesty. The serpent slithered among the trees, whispering of power and the desire to transcend mortal limits. Yet this was no mere temptation. It was the unfolding of an ancient cosmic conflict hidden among the shimmering rivers, the fiery stones, and the radiant foliage. Eden itself was a crucible, testing the hearts of all who entered. Light and shadow met there, wisdom confronted pride, and beings both human and celestial faced the eternal question of loyalty, obedience, and ambition. Every leaf, every glimmer of water, every whispering wind carried a hidden meaning, a message of both caution and revelation. When it is written, "You were in Eden in the garden of God," it is not the story of humans alone. It speaks of a being whose perfection was unmatched, whose wisdom and beauty were radiant until iniquity was found within. Lucifer, the light bearer, walked among us, among the trees and the fiery stones, where sacred laws held dominion. The serpent, too, was no ordinary creature, but a manifestation of rebellion, a herald of the ancient trial. Eden was a stage for conflict older than time, a divine experiment where the sacred and the fallen intersected, where choices rippled across eternity. Eden was never a simple paradise of trees and rivers. It was a kingdom of sacred and intelligent beings, a realm where rivers did not merely flow into the mortal world, but through the very fabric of reality itself. Beneath its waters, mighty spirits waited, bound until the appointed hour when they would rise and challenge what mortals believed about the cosmos. Every whisper, every flicker of light, every shadow reminds us that the story of Eden is far from over. The echoes of its ancient events resonate even now, preparing for the eventual return of powers long hidden, forces that once walked among the stars and that shaped the destinies of angels and men alike. When humans imagine Eden, they picture serene trees and gentle rivers, a peaceful and idyllic garden. Yet the true Eden was far more complex, a meeting place of intellect and ambition, of divine authority and celestial rebellion, where light and darkness intertwined in an eternal dance. Its rivers glimmered with living essence, its stones blazed with sacred fire, and its trees held secrets older than time itself. While we walk on earth, we see only fragments and reflections of this divine kingdom, mere shadows cast across the world by the brilliance of what once existed. Eden holds the wisdom of ages, the power of angels, and the memory of a rebellion that shaped the cosmos, waiting patiently for the time when its truths may once again be revealed. And so Eden continues, not merely a memory, but a living, breathing realm beyond the reach of mortal maps, a place where every being, angelic, human, and serpentine, once confronted destiny itself. Its rivers, stones, and sacred spaces whisper secrets of eternity, testing, guiding, and warning. Every light that dances across its waters, every shadow that creeps among its trees, carries a story older than humanity, a story of wisdom and pride, obedience and rebellion. And one day, when the appointed time comes, the ancient powers bound beneath its sacred rivers may awaken once again, and the echoes of Eden's true majesty will sweep across the world. Eden is not a simple garden. It is a divine kingdom, a meeting place of the sacred and the fallen, a crucible of wisdom, power, and destiny. And while humans see only fragments, the story continues, whispering through the rivers, the trees, and the very fabric of reality. A story of light, shadow, and the eternal struggle that defines all creation.